There we go. Oh, geez, what happened?
We're here.
Okay.
Yeah. So seeing that there's nobody watching, Kev, is there a link? What do we use to? Because went back to your.
Yeah, you know what? They don't give me the YouTube link. Are we live now? We should be live now.
Yeah, we're live now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no link on yours at all.
No, and they won't give it to me until the end. So they'll give me the link at the end. The video chat has Jarvis Moto video chat ended. What is that?
Well, here we go. So, live with
there we go. So we are live now, and it's showing up on the thing. So we'll just continue on right now.
Okay.
I mean,
so I'm going to copy this link.
And so everything is there. So you know what?
Where's the link? I'm not seeing it.
It came up. The link came up in an alert from Kevin's website.
So here we go. You know what I need to do going forward. We didn't advertise this one properly, obviously. We do have people watching, so that's cool. We? Yeah, we do. We have one, but that's okay. We're still trying to figure out the technical stuff with all this. Yeah, there we go. So I just got a YouTube alert now. So we have we'll have some people rolling in shortly. Mm-hmm. But you know what? The part of this learning curve, I think what I will do going forward is I'm going to make a short advertising video prior to. That way we'll have more people aware that we're going to be doing this. I know that we did say we were going to do it every Sunday, but you know what? People are busy and we don't always remember what the heck is going on. But anyway, so with that, hey guys, welcome. Here we are. We're doing it again. And what we decided to talk about this time for you new ones that are just joined us is that we are going to be talking about technical stuff and some of the technical stuff that we've been dealing with YouTube, trying to make videos and trying to come up with content. And I was talking a little bit about what I've been doing. I've been doing a little bit of green screen stuff and trying to learn how to do all that. I was talking with Mr. McStash, and he was giving me some tips on lighting, and that was a really big help, telling me that there was, some of the lighting things, some of the lighting tricks that he had. Wayne, you've been working on your trip videos, and those trip videos, I must say, are they're pretty epic. I mean, watching that. Like I can almost feel like I'm right there with you on the ride. Like I like how you've done it. I've never seen it where you make yourself sort of transparent, and then you can see the bikes ahead, and that was a really cool effect. How did you do that?
So that's done. You click on one of the B-roll usually, and you usually click on the clip of the B-roll, and then you go to the opacity, like you make it opaque. So you slide the slide bar down, and it just makes it almost invisible, and it shows the A-roll behind it. So it's actually fairly easy to do. And then it's along the same lines for if you see in the video where, like, I'll have the map and I'll have the little bike move across the screen. That's done similarly, but it's done in stages. You have to stop and start the video and keep moving the cursor and adding a spot for the bike to go to. It took a little bit, but I just keep watching the how-to videos on YouTube, and I figure out how to do it. So
hey, you know what? We have got some relatives of mine watching in Germany. So how cool is that?
That's pretty good.
So we're being watched in Europe.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah. So Wayne, you put a an image over top of an image for your video. Is that?
Yeah, like I'll run multi clip videos. So I've got like not just one row across the working area. I've got up to 3 or 4 if I use 4 cameras.
Right.
I'll have them and then I sequence them together and then I can drop them out. It basically, what it does is it looks down from the top. If you're looking at all the rows of video, the first one in the top row is the one that's seen. So if you make it opaque or you delete a chunk out of it, then it goes to the next one, to the next one, to the next one.
Right.
Now, the other way of doing that is you make them little pictures like we're looking at the screen right now. There's 3 pictures, right?
Right.
So you can make like a little one over in the corner and a little one over here and have your main picture in the center. You can make them opaque as well when you do that, so that you can see the whole front view behind the other 2 that are just kind of half invisible. So
right. So I've never used Final Cut. I use a software called Power Director. So when I go to import a video, I put it on, let's say, track number 1, and then if I want a picture-in-picture, I drop the smaller one that's going to go somewhere on my screen. I drop it into track number 2.
Right.
That's similar.
Well, that's what I call the B-roll.
Oh, the B-roll. Okay.
Okay. So the second one is the B-roll. I guess it'd be C, D, how many you have, I guess. So, yeah. So once you've got it there, so if you click on that, when you drop that picture or that little bit of video in there on your second track, if you look around, you'll probably find in your software somewhere there's a place where you can change it and make it opaque.
Yeah, yeah.
And you should be able to do the same thing. I just never saw it in the other software. The other software, for it being so easy to use, any of the ones that I had, it was like the beginner's version.
Right.
Now it's really powerful, but a little harder to figure things out. But there's more things in there to use. So
right. Yeah, there's a number of channels that I follow that use Final Cut. I guess the premier one is Adobe, and then everything else has a smaller following, but loyal to that software.
Somebody got the YouTube running in the background, because I'm getting an echo here.
Are you? Yeah. Me?
Yeah, I think so. Somebody.
You have to mute your YouTube channel.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, somebody is echoing here, but technical difficulties. Okay.
Is that better?
Yep.
Okay.
Can you still hear me though?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I raised my volume up from the setting I had it on the last one because the audio was a little low on my channel. So yeah, boosted it up, but
no,
the volume sounds good today.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've been using Power Director, I guess, for over the last, 10 years or something. It's up to version, forget what, 19 now, right? So I didn't, when I started doing all of this, the YouTube stuff, I didn't switch. I just stayed with it. So I'm not sure how much of a following it has with YouTubers, but I like it. I'm used to it, right? Yeah. I don't have to go searching for anything.
And I always say that's the best editing program you can use is the one you're using. So whatever you're comfortable with, that's what you should use. So before we get going too far here, guys, I've got my coffee and Bailey's. Yeah. So what are we drinking this morning?
Well,
Tim Hortons.
I there we go. I've got my Valentine's cup, right? So and it's got, unfortunately, it only has tea in it today. We ran out of we had mimosas.
I know.
And here to go for this morning.
So you guys are going to make me drink alone.
And, I can go and get a little Amarula for my tea. I'll do that in a little while. But we were able to go and see our grandchild Wyatt who now is 11 days old, and we had a few mimosas yesterday while we were having breakfast and being with my son, so and his lovely bride.
Yeah.
So,
that's awesome. You know,
Yeah.
yesterday I have to admit we have been so missing our grandkids, and our kids came out. They came out yesterday. We really were careful. We stayed outside. I made a campfire in the backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had chairs all spread out, and we roasted weenies and had it in the backyard, and it was really nice. So, yeah. You know what? This pandemic stuff, it's really hard, but we've been trying to follow all the rules, and we thought that we were doing it okay if we had a campfire. And so I had a campfire yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah, and it was really fun.
What was the temperature yesterday?
It was pretty cold, but we had a roaring fire, so it was nice. I have a campfire pit in the backyard. I had to dig it out. It's covered in snow.
Yeah.
But I have a cover on it, and once I found the cover and got it off, it was okay. But so that was the kind of the fun stuff yesterday.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, when we talk about some of this technical stuff, like the video editing is such a learning curve, and I think anybody who's starting off in YouTube, I think that's got to be one of the biggest stumbling blocks in getting started at this stuff. Would you guys agree with that? Like trying to get started with YouTube, the editing. Like, I mean, I struggled for a long time, and I keep trying to push myself and trying to find a different way of editing and trying to do it so that it's not as amateurish, you know, and I'm trying to get better and trying to do new things, and it's like a constant battle.
Yeah. You know, there's I don't have the person's name, but I was watching another video on this, and there's one person there that does all of their video by their phone, by their iPhone. You know, they capture the video.
Harley Roadshow. Yeah.
Is it Harley Roadshow? Yeah. It
Australia.
does everything by their iPhone. So, you know what? I think it's like for me is I keep watching the YouTube on Power Director, because there's a number of people out there that'll teach you how to do transitions, how to do your opacity, right, and all of those, right, and so I'll watch that, and then I'll say, okay, can I incorporate that into one of my upcoming videos, right? And I'll look for the opportunity to do it. So I've got one coming up in a couple of weeks where I found this feature, and it's an overlay of snow, right? So, you know, if it's not snowing outside, I can make it snow on top of my screen, right? Through this feature.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, when you talked about upcoming plans for videos, I was gonna. I've got one that it's coming out on Tuesday, and what I did that was different that I haven't done before. When you talk about videos, I wanted to do an interview. I've done interviews before when you had people here, you know, when you could actually talk to them, but with COVID, we can't do that. So I thought, okay, I got an idea. I'm going to do a virtual interview. So I did a virtual interview with Richard, Richard, that from my a lot of my videos with the riding group that I belong to. I belong to Canadian Motorcycle Cruisers. And so what I did is I wanted to talk about the Canadian Motorcycle Cruisers and what it's all about, and how it works and all that sort of thing. So I I did an interview. We did it on Messenger, and I put the GoPro right in front of me and pointed it at the screen. I had my iPad pointed at me, and so I had some video, because the problem when you do it on Messenger is how do you edit it afterwards? Like, you can't, if you're trying to make a video. So I had to kind of think outside the box, right? So I have this video of me talking to him, and he's looking at the screen, and you can see me in the corner like it is in Messenger. And I also have the video of me talking. But even then, I thought, okay, that's still kind of boring. Who wants to just watch a bunch of talking heads? I mean, unless we're live, of course. So, so what I did is I incorporated that with video and pictures about whatever it was we were talking about. I did an hour and a half interview, and I mean, there was a lot of stuff talked about, but then the big job afterwards was trying to go through all that stuff and find things that would be interesting for my audience, and two, things that I have pictures or / video that I could incorporate with the conversation, right? And so I did that, and we'll see how it all turns out. It's actually one of my longest videos. Anybody who watches my channel knows that my videos tend to not be terribly long. Mine are anywhere between 3 and 5 minutes typically. And my interview with Richard ended up being, it's 11 minutes and 20 seconds, I think. For me, is like, I mean, that's huge for me. I don't usually do videos that are that long. You guys, because of you do different types of videos, I find that it's easier for you guys to make them longer. Like the stuff that you do, Wayne, when you do those trips, I mean, you've got to get all that footage in there, you know?
It's taken 15 hours of video and dropping it through a funnel and getting like 18 minutes out of it.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Like, I took an hour and a half and whittled it down to 11.
Hours and hours on the road for right?
You've taken 15 hours.
there's one there of me going to Memphis. I rode to Memphis in 16 hours. I left like 5 a.m. in the morning in October, 21st of October, 19, and rain and. It was everything. So I was like taking cameras off and throwing them in the trunk and getting back on the bike and riding. And the rain had stopped. I put the camera back up, and I had to put all that. I had to try to mesh some of it together to make it look like something, right? And like, it was a pretty epic journey for me by myself. Never been there before in my life, and on a bike. I mean, you know, you're in a cage. You got locked doors and you feel okay, but you know, there were some dicey spots I was pulling in to get gas and stuff, and it was you got to be a brave boy to be out there in some of them places. So it gets difficult to get it all together, and the problem that I have with all those hours of video is that all of them. You try to use the sound to line up all the videos, but it never works for me because there's so much wind noise on 2 of them that it's never the same. So the software is like forever trying to pick out what is the same to get that sync, and it just can't do it. So I always have to do it visually. I got to back it up frame for frame and line it all up and get it as close as I can. So there's no lag, and you know, my mouth is moving and the talk is behind, like, you know, it's got to be all synced up, right? So you got to get it fairly close to make it realistic. And it's worse when I have to set the half helmet on, because you can see my mouth and you can see it moving. So go ahead, Dave. Yeah, you can fudge it on a full face a little bit, but
yeah. So a trick that I learned was I would set up my cameras, I would turn them on, and then I would do the old one. Well, I got to get my fingers in the right position.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Right.
That works for the first clip. And then after that, because as your cameras flip,
yeah,
as long as they're running and they're all running the same, don't turn them off. They'll just boom, boom, boom. It'll be all in a row. But if you shut it off and turn it back on, because there's a delay, one camera shuts off of like a millisecond after you push the button, and the other one is like a couple of seconds later, and you got to bring all that back, and you got to do it however many. Like I can have 30 or 40 clips in the video when I start out raw, and they're all together, right? And you're looking at it and just go, oh wow, man, this is a lot of work coming. So you have to pick certain ones, and then when it gets really difficult in some of them, sometimes it's just you gotta delete it. You got to get it out of there, because it's just going to be forever. You'll never get it edited.
What I find with mine too is like I have tried the videos that I like myself personally that I do are when I have mixed both voiceover and me actually talking in the video in the same video. But the way I deal with it, because I don't tend to have I have no microphone hooked up to the camera. If I'm using video, it's me actually talking to the camera. So I will talk to the camera, and I will use the thinking ahead of time that I'm going to do this with a voiceover and do it later with the voiceover. And I find that I like those videos in my videos. Sometimes it works really good. I've done it like kind of like the $1 Million Bogan, where you yell at the camera when it's up close, and in small doses that works fine. I think if you're going to be like, it wouldn't work for moto vlogging like you do, Wayne, but and even like trying to incorporate all those things together. Like, I don't know about others, but I just find it's really a challenge trying to come up with new ways of presenting information. You know.
So my video, a year in the making, I had a number of cameras on the go, and instead of using the microphone to pick up the audio on the GoPro or the Contour that I had, I used my iPhone and downloaded a software called, I think it's Recorder Plus or something. And what I did was I Bluetoothed, I linked it to my my headset, and I did all of my audio onto my iPhone, and then pasted it. And it wasn't a long ride; it was about a 20-minute ride. But using that 1, 2, 3, I was able to link it up with my video. Yeah. So you could maybe do that, Kev, because I know what brand do you use? Do you have a Sena or what for your headset?
It's an aftermarket.
I have an aftermarket, like no name job, but I want to buy a what is it called, Wayne? The one that you have?
Which, the half helmet?
No, you're connected.
Oh, I've got the Cardo.
Cardo, that's the one I want.
I've got a Backtalk Slim.
Yeah.
The wife's got a Smart H. They look exactly the same. The Smart H is a couple of years older.
Yeah.
Has the exact same features. Has the what do they call it? Can't remember the name of what they call it. Like the good Bluetooth that you can drive in and out of the. You can stop for gas and then catch up to them, and it'll relink back up as soon. See, that's what I want to get. I want to get the Cardo, because what I have been finding is you use it, and I think Dave, what do you use?
I have two. So I have the Cardo Pack Talk.
Yes,
which allows us to connect with the whole group, and which is great because apparently, when we went to North Bay, we had 28 bikes, and there was 7 or 8 of us on this, and spread. So we could talk that way. But I also have for the half helmet, if I don't want to use the Cardo, I have a Cena Expand. Right? I don't know if I have it here. It might be out in the bike. I'll take a look in a minute. But I use that because it's similar to Harley Davidson has one, and it's just a set of earmuffs and a microphone, and you just put it on and then put your helmet on over top. So it's you could walk around. So if you were going to do, like, if I do a review on a RV campsite, and I jump on the bike, I have the phone mounted in the holder. I've got the Expand just on my head, and I ride around and do a commentary on the campsite. So it's really good that way. Or if we're backing up the RV, Lori can put hers on, I put mine on, and we can talk to each other and guide the trailer into the campsite.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got, this is my half, and I got it set up for vlogging.
Mm-hmm.
So the northern ride, I just got the helmet. I hadn't got a camera put on it yet, but that's a Hero 5. So it's the Cena Cavalry.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got the R, I forget the R something, Bluetooth built right into it. So
yeah, and then
for you, Kev, this would actually be the and you don't have to have the camera. You can still do your same thing. The thing that works with it is your Hero 4 with the audio pack on the back.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So that links to this helmet. And if you take all this stuff off.
Sure. I'm just going to go off camera just for a second.
Yeah, no worries.
So this is the unit, and it just plugs into the back slot of your camera. And then it links up. There's a little thing that links them together.
Yeah.
This thing will last for days on a charge.
Mm-hmm.
And you find that works pretty good, eh?
With this helmet, yes.
Yeah.
And before that, I was very frustrated and I didn't use it. I just kind of set it aside. But when I was going on this ride, I thought, well, I gotta get a half helmet. I'm gonna bake. Like I got a little bit of sunstroke last year just before we went on the ride, and I was not feeling 100%, and I didn't want to redo it again. So
yeah.
I didn't want to relive that again. So I figured, well, I'll try this. I'll get that helmet and I'll try it, because I was looking at just I got a half helmet, just a regular one, and I put one of the Cena units that I had on it, but it looked like I had a watermelon stuck on the side. So I was like, the Harley guys are going to beat me up in the back if I go looking like that. So I went and bought this Cena Cavalry helmet.
I have a oh, sorry, go ahead.
I don't know what the difference is, but this being an integral Cena helmet with this Cena product, it just seems to work perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing I did wrong was there's a little button on here that you can push it to be high quality sound or not. And for the first few days of the ride, I had it on the wrong setting, and it kind of sounded like I was talking underwater a little bit.
You got to wonder why they put a button like that. Do you want this to sound good, or do you want it to sound crappy?
It tells you on your earpiece, but I didn't remember to read back up of what meant what and what was going to happen. And I hadn't used it, so it was just, I just threw it on and went and did it cold, right? So I had this one on the handlebar looking back at me, the Hero 4 with that on it. So it worked out really good, because with the front screen on the Hero 4, I could see how many clips I had on the videos, like, because using my remote, I just got the GoPro remote, so I just have it stuck. It's Velcroed on my dash, so I just push the button when I don't want to, or when I want to tape and when I don't.
Yeah.
hopefully they all go together. Sometimes one will freeze and then I'm down to two, and I don't stop the ride and wave everybody down that I got to fix my camera. I just let it go until we stop. And then, so there's been some lost footage that way, but this system I think would probably be the best for you.
Yeah.
The helmet is a little bit expensive. It's about 400 and something, but
Yeah.
you got to factor in you're getting a fully functional voice activated options, Bluetooth unit that will hook to your phone, your GPS, whatever else you got.
Yeah.
You
I know people that got Harleys that do have the 5 pinned in, or
I've seen that before.
7 pinned in on the Harleys, right? You can buy the Cena free wire.
So it'll hook up to your
Plug that into the DIN, and then it's Bluetooth to your helmet. But it works with the Cardos, but it only works in mono.
Oh.
But I don't know how anybody can tell stereo and mono on a motorcycle helmet anyway. But so like my Goldwing right now, I have an SR10, which is a Bluetooth unit in the glove compartment that's hooked to my 5 pinned in on the Goldwing. That's to my helmet. So I run my GPS. I run my phone to my GPS to my helmet. So it talks to me and I can answer my phone calls. And then I got all my functions of my stereo, my satellite radio on the auxiliary.
Man, you got everything on your bike.
It's wired, man. I got everything that I can do to that bike. I've got it, plus the CB. So as far as the helmet, again, that half helmet, if you're running a half helmet and you want to have some connectivity, buy one of these audio packs. They're about $100. And, Hero 4s, I mean, I got 2 of them. I try to take really good care of them because you never know when you're not going to be able to find one, but they're pretty much,
I love that camera.
They're out there all the time. You can go buy one for like $100 and you got a next to the camera because people just don't use them if they're
the only thing about the new cameras that I really like is that they've got that stabilization that that you don't. Yeah, there you go. with the old ones, but the old ones work fine. I mean, the biggest problem I have is keeping it stable enough that you don't get the wobble. Yeah, that's very nice. I know. I see.
Yeah.
I see. I get it. I got a question for you guys. When you're creating a video, and how do you start to do your video? Do you plan it out? Do you write it out? Do you have an idea in your mind, or do you just sort of go with it and see what you come up with? Like for me, I often will have a plan and I'll write down what I'm going to do. Sometimes I'll even write down a script. Sometimes I don't. But what I often find with my videos is I don't get the video in my head onto YouTube. It ends up being something a little different. But I think that's kind of part of what YouTube. How do you find it, Dave? Like what when you're coming up with a video idea, do you plan it out ahead of time? Do you how do you go about it? What's your process?
So honestly, I've come up with a number of things that I think might be of interest to people, right? Or I've enjoyed. So I did a 3-part mini-series on the Trent Canal, the Trent Severn Waterway. Where
I watched that. That was good.
Yeah, where I picked out 3 of the most unique locks that you would find in Canada or the US. 2 of them were hydraulic and one was a marine railway. And so what I did for each of those was I just started filming, approaching the feature, and just kind of took it from there. I had a friend of mine, Rick, and we went back and forth talking, and I just walked over the whole lock. Whether it was the Marine Railroad, Peterborough, Kirkfield, I walked over it and took probably, I would say, at least 2 to 3 hours of video, and then what I did was I brought it back and chopped it all up into pieces in my video editing software, and then pieced together the story there, right?
Yeah.
So that part's kind of easy because you're videotaping a feature, right? And you can cut it up. Nobody knows whether you walked up the stairs first or you walked up the stairs the last part of the visit, right? It's just how you want to piece it all together.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a little bit better at it, trying to, be able to reduce the number of hours of footage in recognizing what are good shots versus, not so good shots.
And I think I've learned too, and you touched on it, and I think it's a really good thing to mention, is when you're editing, like the order in which you did things means nothing. It really means nothing when you're doing editing. Like I will often doing a ride video, I might show something that happened well into the ride at the beginning, and something that happened in the middle, closer to the end, and like just mix it all up to make the video.
That doesn't work for me.
What?
It doesn't work for mine because I've got the 3 and they got all.
Yeah.
A truck or a car goes by, it's got to be seen in the other one, so you got to bring all that to. Yeah.
Yeah.
I envy you guys for being able to do what you do because it makes it so much simpler.
But it's actually kind of fun sometimes. Like I ought to sort of akin it to, you throw everything up in the air and see where it lands, and then okay, this clip will look good here. Like I mix things up in out of order and mess it around, and it's especially when you're doing something like a video or like a video interview, an interview where the question that I asked at the end of the interview might have been a great question, so it ends up being the first one, and I mixed them all up. Like I've done that with a couple of the interview ones I've done, and I've done that with ride videos where if I'm doing a voiceover and sound isn't that's where the sound doesn't always matter when you do the voiceover. Because you can mix it all up and it comes up with something. But it's interesting how we all have to approach it differently with our different styles of channels.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the things are the same and some of the things are different. And I think that's all part of this learning curve, right?
Yeah. Well, when I did the Cabot Trail, I had 8 hours worth of video to go through. And what I did there was I would watch it through, and then I would say, that particular part of the road, kind of boring, cut it out.
Yeah.
And then go to the next part. And I started chopping it down, and so you went from 8 hours to 4 hours to 2 hours to 1 hour. And I wanted to have a video that was somewhere in around 20 minutes. And so then it was a case of, this was a really great scene of the highway, but I'm going to chop out the first part of going into the corner,
right?
The video as I'm actually in the corner leaning. So I'll knock off that 15 seconds. And so I just kept going back over and over again. Very time consuming, but at the end of it, you come out with 20 minutes of video. And Mr. Mustache, I was watching, he loves the voiceovers.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm starting to get a little bit better at inserting voiceovers. I know Harley Girl does a lot of voiceovers also.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, and you do it, Wayne, well.
I need to get rid of the echo. It sounds like I'm in an extremely large room, and this room is soundproofed. I built it myself. It's the Roxol insulation, ceilings, walls, everything.
Is it the panic room?
No, it's just so I don't annoy people with my lousy guitar playing. That's all.
Well, I noticed that you're a lousy guitar player. I saw.
Well, I only see drums in behind. So.
Oh, there's
Oh, there they are.
There they are. You know what? I will,
standard and Strat.
I will guarantee you that I am a lousier guitar player than you.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's true. I have been trying to play guitar for a really long time, and I'm really bad at it.
Yeah, I know the feeling.
So Wayne, you can.
But I've nurtured at least 2 other guitar players that are extremely good. So that's what the stuff's here for. We'll be out on a ride. We come home and there's like people in our house playing in our music room. So
I have a son who's quite attuned with the piano.
Oh yeah,
and he plays the guitar quite well, but won't play either.
yeah. If they got the talent, they won't. But
I know.
Linda's boy, he's Nick. That's in some of my videos. He's become quite the accomplished guitarist, and he's delving into other instruments as well. But he's been pretty good. And my son's played since he was like in his early teens, and
that's interesting.
That's what he does. Is he just plays music and records and does stuff.
So Wayne, if we run out of things to say, can you kind of do like a 2 or 3 minute musical interlude while we think of the...
No, I'll get some guests to come in and play. How's that?
Well, you could fake it, and we could do a music voiceover.
I'll get Eddie Van Halen soundtrack and put over it. Yeah, that'll work.
A little stairway.
I was gonna say. I mean, back to you saying how you did things, Dave. I do the same thing. What I do is I put all the rolls together, get everything all synced together, and then I do like a light edit over and make sure, and I put in those fancy screens where it fades and ghost images and stuff. I'll do all that before I cut anything out of the video. Then I go back and I'll render it into one, and then I'll sit down and I'll put in the map, like in the northern rides where I got the map and the little motorcycle bombing around.
Yeah,
I'll do all that afterwards. As I'm doing that, I'll go through and I'll cut the boring chunks out. Yeah. Then I add my transitions after that. So if I see a lousy cut where it cuts funny and it's not, it looks like a real flip in the video, I'll actually cut it and take a little piece out and put a transition in just to smooth it out. But I do that after I've already rendered it once.
Which is a really great way of doing it. Like if you've got 5 minutes of a really nice twisty road, just dropping in 2 or 3 transitions breaks up that long video stream and keeps people's interest, right?
Yeah, I do have one viewer that tells me to shut up and just let me hear the motor. He just says, don't put any music over it. I just want to hear the motor. I think maybe the person is like not able to ride or like homebound or something, and he's riding through my videos, is I guess. He just wants to hear the engine and just wants to go. Just shut up and ride. That's all he wants.
Wayne, is your Goldwing loud?
No, it
sounds like a Goldwing.
It sounds like it's quiet, but it's got a little bit of a roar. I put a K&N air filter in it, and it's a little louder since I did that.
Okay.
A little more of the intake noise than the exhaust itself. It's got a good rumble. Like you get her wound out. There's one there where I went. Well, the day I first went to see if I could find Kev. No, it was the day we went for the ride to Kincardine.
I was going to ask you guys.
There's a yellow Camaro in the video, and
okay,
I'm not saying that there was anything happen, but there might have been some testing of the machinery. And the guy in the Camaro got a big surprise. He kept getting the jump on me at the corners because I had the trailer on. I had to wait till I got straightened out before I could let her rip. So he was getting about a gear on me before I could get going. And finally I got my opportunity, and then he when I pulled up beside him when we broke, I went to the left, he went straight. So he didn't have a happy look on his face because he just got took by a gold wing.
Yeah, that's funny.
Right.
But you know, when you figure about weight, though, your bike is pretty fast. So one of the things I wanted to talk about a little bit was upcoming plans for videos. Wintertime is so hard with YouTube, especially when we're doing motorcycle content. And I know that a lot of different channels handle this differently. What are your plans? What are your guys' plans for going forward? I've ordered a couple of parts for my bike, so I'm going to be doing a couple of install videos coming up. I did that interview. Those are the things that I do have coming up. I bought a new windshield for my bike. I'm going to put that on. It's a very low one, and it's got a pouch, one pouch on the really low windshield. I think it's going to change the look of my bike completely, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. I love my really tall windshield if I go touring, but I think I want to try the little short one and just see what it's like. And I like the idea that it has the pouch, because then I've got somewhere to put some stuff in there. Like, I don't know about you guys, but you know, your batteries for your GoPro, you know, like
I'm pretty well set for storage. I don't really have to worry about that. Just if I'm on a trip, a big trip, and then I've got the wife with me, I mean, I take the trailer, so I'm never hurting for storage. Like the other thing the other video I want to do is I changed all of the lights on my bike, like most of us have done, to LED, and I get the hyper flash happening with my signals, and I kind of like the hyper flash because I think it gets the car's attention, but I don't like the warning light on my dash. So I ordered the plug-in load. I don't know what you call it, but it takes up that load so that they flash properly. And I'm going to do an install video of that as well. What have you guys got planned for the wintertime, being moto vloggers? Now, Dave's got a bit of an advantage because his channel, he incorporates a lot of his camping, although that's kind of crappy come wintertime too. He's got that new trailer to play with, so he's got lots of video opportunities there.
So what are you guys' plans? Dave, what do you got planned? Well, you know, as you guys just talked about, we've got a new trailer. I want to do some modifications to it over the winter, some woodworking in that. So I'll be featuring that. Also, you know, just planning future rides. I'm going to do some research around that. Next week, I've got a video coming out on the fifth wheel hitch that I have for the truck, which is kind of unique. It's not like the standard kingpin and plate style kingpin or fifth wheel hitch. So I'm gonna do a feature on that. And also, you know, like you, Kev, you know, I think people would enjoy finding out a little bit more about our you know, clubs that we belong to and rides, things like that. And you know, if you can't get out and ride, let's talk about it and maybe pick out a couple of rides that we went on that we can put more information behind. So, you know, I've got some ideas, and if we get back into riding, well, you know, I just looked at my list. I've got about 30 or 40 odd projects that I'd like to do, but I need good weather and kind of things to open up, right? This year we had planned to go to Americade down in New York State.
Too bad.
But you know, I don't see that happening. And for the Harleys owners group, we've got the nationals that are supposed to be out in the Maritimes, and we were going to take the trailer and go down to that. Don't know when that's going to happen, but you know, we've got lots of ideas, lots of opportunity. You just need the you know, COVID to you know, lighten up a bit, and also to get the good weather.
Yeah. What about you, Wayne? What have you got coming up?
Well, I just want to note that Harley Girl has just corrected you. It's a module.
Huh?
Harley Girl says it's a module that you need.
Oh, for yeah,
Module.
I've got it on mine. Listen, I'll hold it up. So this is my Ulanzi, but if you've got a GoPro, 7 or 8, there's a little little module that fits in here, and then it plugs into the side of the GoPro.
Oh, okay.
So and that gives you your audio, and you can then on the other end, you've got where your mic will plug into. You can even power your GoPro too, right? So
that's a bonus.
I use this Ulanzi holder. I can put a microphone on top, plug in my a lapel mic or you've got the same thing there.
You've got the big one with all the different.
You've got Kevin. Yours is the one from GoPro, isn't it?
No, it's Ulanzi.
Ulanzi. Okay, so same as. Yeah.
So it's got the hole for the module. Sorry.
Yeah, and that's where
bottom. Yeah.
That's where mine is in the bottom here, right across the bottom there. I think that's what Harley Girl was talking about.
No, she was talking about the load for the lights.
Oh, okay.
Flicker. Yeah, because she's talking about her LEDs. I know that some of the lights.
Right.
The headlight bulbs, they put a fan on it, and the fan isn't really to cool the bulb. It just helps, but it's for load. That's what they do it for. Okay, so for me on my channel, what are we doing? I have the radio and the CB both out there on their way back from Sierra Electronics in Ohio. I had them fully inspected and tested, and apparently there is absolutely nothing wrong with them. So that rules out that it's the radios that was giving me that noise that I have a problem with. So he actually said that he'd never seen a CB that was that good as far as modulation and operation. So he said, yeah, your numbers are really good on it. So his suggestion for that is that I ground the antenna to the frame. So I'll be doing a little video on how to do that. He fully explained how to do it. And so as soon as it's back, I sent it down. They were amazing, that place. I sent it down. It took 3 days to get there by Canada Post, U.S. Postal Service. They had it on the machine, the bench that day, tested it, contacted me. I talked to the guy in the morning. He went through it with me again, and then he said, okay, it's all good. They sent me a moderate bill for doing it. And they only charged me the bench fee just to look at them. And it was back on the Postal Service and on its way back, and it's at the border right now, ready to come across. So I am extremely impressed with them for getting it back. So so there'll be a video on that. I still have to do the antifreeze one. I'm going to change out to a different type. I'm going to use the engine ice. So it's phosphate free. There's no particles of anything in there that can be like, some of them, they have stuff in them that like it'll sandblast your water pump and stuff. So I'm going to do that. I got to do an oil change video for the Concours. I've got the kit and everything all ready to go. And some of the people that own Concours wouldn't know it, but you can go right to Kawasaki and order a case of oil. So it's a full oil change with the washer for your oil drain plug, all included in one package. You just walk in. It's a Kawasaki part number with the synthetic Kawasaki oil, which is what I use in that bike. So I'm going to do a little thing on that. These people just don't know. So they're going and buying that part separate and buying their oil separate. You can just go in and ask for that part number, and they'll just pull it down off the shelf, and you got your full oil change there. Filter, oil, drain plug, washer, everything's all in one. So
yeah, Victory.
A lot of the other bike places should do that too, and make it awful handy for.
Yeah, Victory used to do that. I don't know if Indian does it now, but Victory, when Lori had her Kingpin, You just walk in and they hand you a box and everything is included in it.
Well, they should for what they're charging for their bikes. So we're going to do that. And then there's just, I've got a video in the can of taking the radios out. And now I've got where I'm going to change the lights in them in the radio. The dash lights were half burned out in it. So I'm going to change that. That's part of the video. And then it goes back in the bike. So that'll be a full video when it's finished. So
good.
So
good.
You guys, if there's anybody in the chat here who'd like to join up, we've got 5-10 minutes left. We're gonna, if somebody would like to jump in here, we could talk to you a little bit. McStash, are you around? You want to step up here?
Put up the link if you haven't already.
I did. I've put it up. I put the link in. It's in the chat, in the side chat.
It is.
Yeah, it is. I will.
Oh, there. Okay.
Yeah. If somebody would like to, McStash, if you want to join in, that would be great. We've only got about 5, maybe 10 minutes left, and then we're gonna pack this in. But I've got a bunch of questions here. I never even got through all our stuff. This has been a great conversation, guys. I never even got to all my questions. So I mean, I think
just
that
McStash says Amsoil's got packages like that for the oil. That's good to know. Because I do it with my Goldwing. That's what I use in it. Sorry, Kev. Go ahead.
No. That's great.
Yeah. Hey, Kev, did we hear your ideas for this year?
Well, I have got some cool ideas coming up. I mean, I'm hoping that things open up. Like I really do hope things that open up. Because I would like to I'd like to do video with you guys. I mean, that's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to is us collaborating and doing our doing a ride video. There's nothing wrong though with doing a video, and I was included with one with Harley Roadshow a while ago where he did it, and I thought it was a fantastic video. What he did is he wanted a little help from his friends, and so everybody sent him a short little clip, and then he put it in a video and he edited it beautifully. And he had like moto vloggers from all over the place add little clips, and I like that kind of stuff. I mean, that's an idea for wintertime. I don't know. I've thought about it. I don't know how I would go about it, but I have thought about it because it would be great to get clips, especially from some of the guys right now who are down south and some of the guys that are in Australia, because they've got no snow,
Yeah.
Even the guys in Europe, I mean, they're able to ride in the wintertime where we're not. They don't get the winters like we do.
Yeah.
Like, excuse me. I've been that other snowblower thing, the one that I said I did a video a little while ago. It was snow, I think is what it was called. Where I went out and I was using my snowblower. My stupid snowblower broke, and I thought, should I make a video of trying to fix the snowblower? And then I thought, nah, I'm going to try and stick to motorcycle stuff. Oh my! Well, you know what?
Well, if you fasten the snowblower to the front of the bike, you could probably
do it. Well, if nobody wants to come up here and join us, you know what? We actually have hit our hour, by the way, guys. And I do have a couple of other things that I wanted to talk about, but should we've got a couple minutes here, so let's just go with some of these things that I have marked down here.
I think Dead Knots just joined us. I think.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. He must have set his alarm wrong.
Well, you know what?
Waking up now.
I'm gonna make a point of doing a better job promoting this next time, because I didn't do as good a job as I did the first time, and I'm gonna try and do that better. But yeah, you know what? I've got a couple of I made a couple of points here that I wanted to touch on before we go. And here's just a quick question I'm going to throw out. What do you think is the best part of YouTube for you guys?
The friendships and the people all around the world that I know now, like never met face to face, but
yeah,
you know, like all these people in the sidebar, they're almost like old friends now. We've been talking back and forth, commenting on each other's videos and stuff. It's that's what I like about it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. I think that, there are so many like really good moto vloggers, and I watch so many of them, and you chat back and forth, and you feel like these guys.
Yeah.
What you do?
I'll just tell you, I see better stuff on YouTube from YouTubers than I do on TV, and it's more informative. It's
Oh, Mr. G's here. Hi, Mr. G.
Oh, geez.
That's nice that he stopped by. I always enjoy watching his videos. He is such a great storyteller. If anybody hasn't seen Mr. G's stuff, you got to check it out. He is really, really a funny guy, and he's got a very nice bike. He's got that. I think it's a wide glide or it's a Dyna. I'm not sure which, but it is a very nice bike.
Yeah, and I see in the side chat here, we're building a community. We're building, friendships through this. We're learning from each other. Certainly, us as producers of YouTube content, when we start checking out what everybody else is doing, there's some really, really creative people out there, and great at storytelling, right? Yeah. That's what I mean. It's, right now, aside from maybe turning on the hockey game, which I can't get on YouTube just yet, I find myself gravitating more to watching YouTube and the channels there than I am to the, regular paid subscriptions that we have in TV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when I watch TV, it's on very low volume, and I have headphones on watching YouTube at the same time.
Although I have to admit, I have got caught up in a couple of these series. I've been watching that one with Kevin Costner, that cowboy one.
Yellowstone.
Yeah, Goldstone. That I had to binge that, and I watched it all. It's great, but I'm like you. I do spend an awful.
The grandkids are too much mayhem and killing and stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of liked it.
I hear it's Sons of Anarchy on horses.
Yeah, it kind of is. It kind of is.
Really?
Like they're characters that you love to hate.
I broke my foot. I was laid up for like 2 months pretty well.
Yeah.
I binged Mayans and Yellowstone.
Yeah, and Yellowstone is just, I think Dave's comment about it being Sons of Anarchy on horseback is kind of a right one.
Yeah, that's true.
Did you see there's one episode in that series where they take on a bunch of bikers?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the cowboys beat up the bikers.
Yeah.
Oh well, guys, you know what? We have reached our hour, and I did always say that we would try and keep this limited to an hour. And you know what? What I'm learning about doing this live stream stuff is this time I wasn't as prepared beforehand, but I was more prepared with questions and talking points than I was in the last one. And we didn't get to them all because the conversation has been so good. And I want to thank you guys again for always, for coming along with us and doing this, like Wayne and Dave, and I really appreciate you guys doing this with me. It is an absolute blast. And I like that we all have different video styles and we do things differently. but you know, and actually we've got more viewers now than we did when we started. But you know what? I am going to call this I think the end of the live chat, so that we can keep it to the hour. Unless you guys want to keep going.
Well, I'd have to go and get another cup of tea. This
You
one's
know
not
what?
cool.
I think I think I'm going to cut it off, and we're going to, anybody who's here, we're going to be doing this every Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Bob.
Until 10 a.m. At 10 a.m. Until at least till the winter's over, and we have been having so much fun doing this, and I really appreciate everybody who's come by and has come to see us. And you know what?
Oh crap! I missed it.
Hey, Kevin. Before we sign off, right?
Yeah.
You know, we've got some people that we should just recognize that they've taken the time.
Oh, look, we got Bodine here.
Yeah.
52.
Hang around.
Oh,
We're
man.
talking.
You know
Right?
what? The man, the legend,
Oh.
Mr. Bodine.
He
We
gets
better
probably
keep it
into
quiet for a little bit because now we've got a new audience. So.
We do have a new audience. Well, you know what? There are a couple of things that I wouldn't mind talking about if you guys don't mind going just a little bit over.
All right.
Well, Kev, I'm just having problems here. Lori's ignoring my texts for another cup of tea. What should I do?
Just run up and get it. Go get it. We'll handle it.
You know what? And so when we talk about the best part of YouTube, I mean, seeing Bodine in here, I mean, there's a guy, right? I started watching his videos, and he is like just a really great guy to chat with. I've got a couple of messages sent back and forth, and I think it's the community. It's like you guys were talking about earlier, like all of these guys that they moto vlog, but you feel like you get a connection with all these people, and it's the best part. It is actually the best part of YouTube is the other folks. It's not just the putting out videos. You know, when I started doing it, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way, what I thought YouTube was and what YouTube is are different. Like, I thought I could just, post up videos and stuff, but that's not how it works. I mean, if you're going to be successful at this, you need to work it, and you need to post regularly. You need to be a member of this community. I mean, it's not just posting videos. It's connecting with people, and I like that part of it. Oh, we've got Try and Learn in the house too. But you know what? We ended up going a little bit over this time, and this is actually my fault because I did not promote this well enough, and I'm sorry. I will do a better job. It's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Any comments, guys?
On that topic, no. We'll let you off. We'll let you go on that one.
No, we're getting better, Kev. You know.
Yeah, I know.
We'll get better.
Right? I know we will get better, but yeah, you know what? There are so many good moto vloggers, and there's so many that I watch, and I just, you know what? I don't know. I love this part of it,
Yeah, Budsable Rides. He says when it's all over, a big meetup would be cool. So
yeah, I would like that too. Yeah. One of the things is I've got down here. What videos do you like to put out the best? Like when you're putting out a video, what is your favorite kind of video to put out? For me,
just the rides. The evening ride, go out and
like for me, I like
her on the back and talking back and forth, chatter. She can be back there embarrassing me.
Yeah.
saying things that.
What about you, Dave? What kind of videos do you like to put out the best?
You want to know something? I think it's a video that captures a moment that I want to remember.
Yeah.
Event. One of the great things that we did as a hog chapter is we go on an adventure tour where we had 28 bikes. So being able to capture that and the friendship that we have within our club and the camaraderie, it's a video that, on occasion I'll click on again just to relive that event, the weekend that we had spent together.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that it's capturing a moment that I want to look back on or share with people. So, that's kind of where I go.
I think the videos that I like the best are the ones that are where I strike a chord with emotion, where I'm trying to explain or live the feeling of riding or what it is to me. Those are the videos that I like the best. The videos that are probably the most fun for me are the ones where I'm acting like a goof. I really enjoy the funny ones. It's hard sometimes though, because like I when I do those ones, I usually want to plan them out so that there is in all of my videos, I try to do a beginning, middle, end. And if I've got a punchline at the end, I want the punchline to be good. And that's it's harder to do than you think, to make a funny video. Like sometimes you have to, like I usually will write it all down on what I want to do and make it try and make it look like I didn't. And I don't know how many times, and I'm sure with you guys too. I mean, it doesn't seem to matter what video you're doing. If it's even putting something together, I've had to do it, and you end up doing it over and over again, like because you don't want to look like a numrod on YouTube. And you have the option of editing. Like I've had things where I try to put things together and it doesn't work, so I don't put that part in. And I figure it out and then I do it. I film everything, but I don't show everything.
Yeah. Yeah, my fave is with her on the back and going. I don't know whether it shows up in my videos or not, but usually at the start I say, what she's doing. I don't, but I do not like to ride alone. I like having her on the back and the banter back and forth, and just sharing the scenery. She's able to be my eyes to see the other stuff that I can't be spinning my head around looking because I got to ride, right? So it's good that it's better, I should say, or the most enjoyable is when she's on the back, and she'll never admit to that, but she likes it too. So
yeah, I like that too. I like that when my wife comes along and we've got the helmets connected and we're talking. When I have my wife on the bike, I never have the radio on because we are bantering back and forth and pointing out things that we see, and it's just like sharing the day and spending time together. I love that.
And probably on a group ride, if like nobody in my group has Bluetooth, that there's any communication. The only communication that I have is with one of the guys has the CB on his Harley, and he just turns it to the channel and I can speak, but he doesn't put the headset on, so he doesn't talk back, but I'll look in my mirror and I'll see him nod or whatever to what I say. And we can kind of communicate a little bit, and it makes it a lot better. But I wish, that there was more people that ride with me that have Bluetooth would be, it makes the video a lot better because as you know, you can't be talking all the time. There's times where I get halfway through a sentence and I'm pausing because there's some idiot and he's at the intersection and the wheels are starting to turn on the car, and you're going, you just like, so to have another person there to keep talking and join in the conversation makes it a lot better video. So
yeah, I'll just say about group rides where everybody's got communication devices. is that it gets noisy, and you get into some nice cornering and things like that, and then all of a sudden you got to start listening to somebody about commenting on what the breakfast was like in the hotel, or
I didn't say everybody had to have Bluetooth, just that some of them did.
Yeah. So, that's where you want to hit the mute button or silence the other voices in the trip and that. But that's the only thing I'll say about it. It's great to have. Like, I've been on a couple of charity rides where, we're placing ourselves, 5 or 6 bikes throughout the ride, and we're communicating back and forth as to, whether or not to start slowing down for this light, where the corners are coming up, things like that. Or even if the group's starting to spread out too much and we want to bring it back tighter. Communications in that sense is really, really good. Communications on a long ride, I don't know, sometimes I wish there were hand signals that we had, so everybody would turn it on and off, right? But anyway, just a thought.
I think that's a very funny comment too. I think that's sometimes that's true too. I'm not going to say that out loud.
Yeah. Lori finally checked into me. She says, "Are you guys still talking?" I said, "Yeah. Have another cup of tea?"
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? It's funny how when you do these lives, like the conversation changes and turns and this, that, and the other. But you know what, guys? I think I am going to I'm gonna end this video. This has been really, really good, and I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do this with me. And everybody in the side chat, thank you so much for coming in, and we'll see you all next week. So, see you guys.
All right,
all
guys.
Right.
Where are we here? Thank you there we are. There. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Ride safe if you're riding.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
See you guys.
Take care.
Bye.